Take me to Costco Wholesale on 17 North.
Navigating to Costco Wholesale on Park Avenue Boulevard and Mount Pleasant, about 8 miles away, 18 minutes. Which Costco did you mean, if not this one?
Goodbye. All right, let's go to Costco. Now, why am I going to Costco? I have my first problem with my Cybertruck. And I'm going to show it to you right now. Where are we going here? Service, whoops, service. That 49 over there, well, none of them are synced, but that 49 over on the right side of the vehicle, there's a nail in the tire. I took a picture. I'm not sure if you can see it in the image. But I'm going to Costco to get it fixed. Now, I want to tell you why. I know a lot of people talk about the fact that discount tire is the best. Discount tire, no doubt, are extremely good. The only reason I don't go to discount tire is the one that's closest to me is about, I think it's 10 miles away or something. This Costco is very close by. I am a business member at Costco. I have been for years because I'm in the restaurant business. And I love Costco, and the cost of getting this repair done is, I believe it's $12. I can confirm more later after it's completed. But anyway, apart from that, I want to talk about a couple of things that I don't like about this truck. Number one, the floor mats. You can't see the floor mats, but they are filthy. I have ordered my Cybertruck floor mats, which I highly recommend. I've ordered some other stuff too. So you have to get all these aftermarket things. The other thing I ordered were headrest pillows. I'm going to be honest, the seat in the Cybertruck is not uncomfortable. I don't want to say that. That's unfair. But it's not as comfortable as the Model Y. And I knew that going into it. I absolutely knew that going into it. You're not going to get everything you dream of in every vehicle. The other thing I don't like about it is here in the center console, there is one measly USB-C connector. Now, I knew that also going in. The premium model, the model above this, has a 110 outlet, and there's all kinds of aftermarket, products that you can put in. There's one that sits, right above the center console that has a bunch of different outlets and plugs and USBs, USB-Cs. There's even one that has a 110 outlet if you wanted to plug in something in the front. Now, all of this can be modified, of course. I could very easily have somebody wire in, a 110 outlet, but you have to be very careful when you do stuff like that it doesn't override or hurt your warranty. So you have to be very, very careful with that. Now, I know there are going to be other things that are going to pop up over time. One of the things I've been discussing in the Tesla community on X, find me on X, by the way, @TruthTom. We have phenomenal conversations there. My algorithm is filled with people from the Tesla community, and I learn so much there. One of the things I'm looking into is purchasing a spare tire for this car. And somebody made a comment yesterday, if you're going to move towards aftermarket wheels, like new wheels, which I may or may not do. I'm probably not going to do much to this truck for about 6 months. But if you move to aftermarket wheels, then obviously you're going to have 4 wheels that you can use one for as a spare. But again, I don't like storing stuff. I have a garage full of stuff from my former vehicles, from lawnmowers with engines, from all this stuff. Actually, you know what I need? I need a dumpster. Oh no, wait, didn't I just buy a dumpster? Haha, hope you got that. Anyway, I really need to redo my garage. But anyway, So apart from all those things, there's not a problem. Now, some of you in the comments, I know you're going to say, well, why don't you just fix the tire yourself? Yeah, I could easily do that. I have the best plug kits. I have the best portable tire inflators. You know, I have the Fantic. I have all the stuff I need to do all that. I have a jack in the garage. I can jack this car. I could. As a kid, I was a mechanic, right? So I have all the tools. I have everything. But guess what? For 15 bucks, I'll go to Costco, and I have other stuff to do at Costco anyway. Now, if I got stuck on the side of the road, of course, I would have repair kits and all that stuff. And I'll probably at some point buy a spare. The other thing is, I'm a little older, and it's not that I can't do this stuff, but you know, I've worked hard all my life, and I can afford to pay for little things. You know, instead of like this today, instead of fixing it myself, would I save 15 bucks? Yeah. You know what? I've worked my ass off all my life. I think I can afford 15 bucks. But there's, I haven't, oddly enough, now, I haven't been driving the vehicle much because there's a nail in the tire. That's the main reason. But I also do love my Model Y. I love that car. And that car is not going anywhere. In fact, if it goes anywhere, it's going to be going to my wife at some point. She has a little Prius. She refuses. I cannot get her hands off that Prius. She loves it. I want her in a Tesla. I want her in full self-driving. But guys, you know, you got to pick your battles. So she will eventually drive that, and I will drive this. But the Model Y is perfect for you know, for driving around town. The other thing is I like camping. I need to do a camping video for you guys in the Model Y, actually, because there's also a story behind the whole camp setup that's very personal. But I like camping in the Model Y. I just think it's easier. I don't think I'm going to buy a full camp setup for this. I mean, you can buy a cap for this. There's what is it, EV1 or Tesla one? I forget the name. This guy is traveling around the country right now. He built a specific camper shell for Cybertruck. If you follow Tesla Tino, he's got a phenomenal camp setup for his Cybertruck. He's out on the road all the time. And speaking of him, I don't know if you remember, there's all these stories now out there about the PCS board. It's like a computer board that goes in the Cybertrucks. It fails in the Cybertrucks previous to 2026. And it's happened to a lot of them. Tesla have finally addressed it. I do believe they will be refunding people for the parts that they had to replace. There is an official recall on it now, and they have also extended warranties for people who have those trucks that they may have a problem with down the road. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. Tesla always come through. They always come through. They always do the right thing. I know there are people angry out there that they have hardware 3 vehicles. I was one of those people. That's why I switched from the Model 3 to the Model Y, which was hardware 4, and I was allowed to transfer my FSD. I own FSD on the Model Y. I will never sell that car. Hopefully, I will never sell this Cybertruck. And I still cringe every time I call this a truck. There has to be a better name for this. It doesn't feel like a truck. It does everything a truck does. It does everything a car does. It does everything a Toyota Corolla does, and it does everything a Lamborghini does. And it does everything a tiny little wheelbarrow does as far as hauling stuff, and it does everything that a dually 3500 diesel, whatever it is, does. There's nothing this truck can't do. It's everything. There has to be a better name for this than truck. I'm sorry. That's truly how I feel. It's amazing. It's amazing in comfort. It's amazing in speed if you want speed. This steering wheel, which I never touch, is amazing. The turn radius on these vehicles is amazing. Everything about it is amazing. There are little things I don't like. Now, somebody locally here who found me on X, I'm going to be meeting up with them today because they have ordered one of these and they're questioning the fact that they're not sure if they're going to like the gray interior as opposed to the white. I don't like it either, but $59,900 for this truck was a steal. I could not pass up. I love white seats. I do love the white panels. My Model Y, obviously the interior is white and the exterior is white. If I wrap this truck, it will, and don't quote me on this because I could change my mind tomorrow, but it will most likely have a white theme. But again, you're happy with what you have. And I'm very happy with this truck. I know one of my people in the community who comments on all my videos. Thank you so much. And by the way, please subscribe to my channel because like 70% of the people who watch my channel are not subscribed. I would appreciate it if you would do that. Just drop down there, hit the subscribe button. Helps me tremendously. But anyway, somebody in the comments asked today, are we going to be seeing any more adventures of you in the Cybertruck? Well, to be honest with you, buddy, I told you this in the response. I wish I could drive this truck forever and not stop. I wish I could drive it everywhere in the United States and maybe everywhere in the world if that was possible. So I will be, anytime I go anywhere in this truck, I will be doing review videos and I will be doing location style videos. By the way, that wiper is incredibly impressive. I mean, incredibly impressive. Look at the size of that thing. It's absolutely insanely enormous. And I really, really love it. Now, as you're watching this video, you're realizing that it's laying in the downward position. I'm not sure why it's doing that. Tell me in the comments. Do you have a Cybertruck? Have you had any issue like that? Maybe is it supposed to stay down there when I'm driving? You know, for everything I know about Tesla, there's a lot I don't know. And kudos to everybody who puts out videos about their Tesla. Oh, there it is. It went back up now. So somebody explained to me why that happened. But anyway, I absolutely love this truck. I hope I'm not forgetting anything. My carpets are filthy. I can't wait to get my floor mats. I can't wait to do all the little things that I need to do. I need to add stuff in the cargo area. I believe my set of mats come with a cargo liner. A lot of people suggested I get a cargo liner. So there's a lot to do in the future. But anyway, that PCS thing is a big deal. And as always, Tesla have addressed it. Those of you who have hardware 3 vehicles, you now have 14 Lite. I know it's not what I have. I know it's not 14.3.6 or .7, which is already out. But Tesla are at least trying. And I also believe that they will either come up with a system where your car will go to a service center. Elon has talked about this. They talked about setting up specific service centers in major cities, try to capture as much of the population as they can, where they will take your car in and possibly for a small fee, maybe a couple of $1,000s or whatever it may be, upgrade your car to hardware 4 technology, which I believe they can do. I'm not sure they'll do that. If I'm a businessman, what I would probably do instead is I would give you such an enormous incentive to trade in your hardware 3 vehicle and upgrade to a hardware 4. That's most likely what they would do. And I don't know their numbers, and don't quote me on this, but that might look something like, a $5,000 reduction, discount, whatever you want to call it, on your new car, and possibly a 0% interest, and maybe even an extended warranty. I don't know. I do know this. These cars last forever, man. And I know every car fails. There's another thing I want to talk about here. There was an old rule that said you should never buy a first-year vehicle. Remember that? Remember when something came out, that was the old rule. Never buy the first-year model of any vehicle because they're never right and they never work right. And I think Tesla has broke that mold for certain, because even with the Cybertruck, the various issues, which were very minimal, by the way, much more minimal than people are talking about. Even with the Cybertruck, things like the PCS, and do you remember the side panel was coming off? They have fixed everything. They have honored everything. And now I believe that Tesla might be the first company in history, correct me if I'm wrong, where it's actually safe to buy the first model year of a vehicle. That's why I'm going to be buying Cybercab as soon as they allow me to. But they honor all of their problems, all of their issues. Their customer service is second to none. Anyway, I need you to ask me questions. If you have any questions about this video, do not hesitate to ask. I want to be as transparent as possible. I'll answer any questions you have. This is why I'm here. This is why I'm doing this. And if you're a senior citizen, I think you should buy any Tesla you can afford or that you want. The other thing I want to say, this truck is perfect for every age group. I don't care if you're 19 or 90. This truck is amazing. I also believe something else, and I'm going to stand on this. Now, I'm a little older. I do believe that this vehicle might be the first vehicle in history, maybe along with some other Teslas, even the Model Y, that has the ability to reach 1 million miles. I firmly believe that. If you just look at the components in this truck, basically everything is replaceable. This is the equivalent of one of those solid brick houses. Remember, everybody used to say, buy a brick house. It lasts forever. All the little components inside it can be changed. So what I said on X this morning to one of my friends is, I said, I think this truck has the capability of reaching 1 million miles. I don't have the capability, unfortunately, to reach 1 million miles. Although, you never know. They're replacing all kinds of body parts too, so maybe the truck and I can live together until we get to 1 million miles. I hope you guys understand my sense of humor. It doesn't always come across properly because people don't understand it. But anyway, thanks for watching. Have a great day. I'm almost at Costco here. And if I have any issues at Costco, I promise you I will share it with you.
Artificial intelligence will generate abundance, not chaos. It will create shared prosperity through innovation. We can build a future of value for all.